You can wish for a mountain to move, but until you pick up the shovel, that mountain will mock you with its silence. You can dream of freedom, but the chains won't break because you whispered someday. The world does not bend to your hopes. It bows only to your hands, to your sweat, to your scars. Success doesn't respond to wishes. It responds to work, deliberate, tireless, relentless work that rises before the sun and doesn't rest when the body begs for sleep. This is the price, and the price is non-negotiable. We live in a time where talk is cheap and fantasy is free. You can scroll for hours through lives that are filtered, curated, and fabricated, and still convince yourself that your breakthrough is coming just because you've imagined it. But let me tell you something that's older than time and sharper than truth. Success has no sympathy for the passive. It doesn't care how much you want it. It only cares how far you're willing to crawl for it when your legs give out and the road vanishes beneath your feet. Thomas Edison didn't hope the light bulb would work. He bled for it. 10,000 failures, 10,000 nights of ridicule, 10,000 reasons to quit. But he wasn't chasing approval. He was chasing certainty. He didn't beg success to come. He built the road and walked down it himself. That's the difference between those who live their dreams and those who just talk about them. Because there's a war being fought every day, a war between the mind that says, "I will," and the voice that whispers, "I can't." And until you silence that second voice with action, not affirmation, you'll remain trapped in the prison of almost. It begins here, with the mind. Mindset is the battlefield where the future is won or lost. Your circumstances are loud, yes, but they are not sovereign. Your environment can shape you, distract you, or even delay you, but it cannot decide you. Carnegie rose from poverty, Lincoln from failure, Disney from rejection, Ford from bankruptcy. What did they all share? A mindset that refused to bow. They didn't inherit success. They constructed it with a blueprint written in obsession and belief. And belief, real belief, is not soft. It's not just an affirmation scribbled on a mirror or a vision board on your wall. It's war paint. It's the fire in your gut that burns louder than doubt, louder than failure, louder than every no thrown at your feet. The world will doubt you. That's not personal. It's inevitable. But what matters is whether you doubt yourself. Because if you do, even for a moment, success will slip from your fingers like sand. Not because it wasn't meant for you, but because you didn't rise to the level of its demands. Clarity is your weapon. Most people are not lazy. They are unclear. They're sprinting in circles, busy with distraction, mistaking motion for progress. They confuse wishing with working and wonder why their life feels like quicksand. But clarity slices through chaos like a blade. It tells you this is the mission. This is who you must become. And this is the price. You think Henry Ford built an empire by multitasking mediocrity? No, he obsessed over one thing, making cars affordable for the masses. He didn't need 20 paths. He needed one, and he walked it with conviction. Once you are clear, then comes vision. Not a fantasy, not some vague daydream of riches and applause, but a vivid, violent, unshakable vision of what must exist. And you are the only one who can bring it into the world. Walt Disney was told he lacked imagination. They laughed at him. They called him delusional. And maybe he was. But the difference is, he believed his delusion more than they believed their logic. And today, children walk through the streets of his imagination. Your vision must burn brighter than the world's doubt. It must drive you through the storm, the boredom, the rejection, and the pain. Because without vision, your discipline will collapse. But with it, you become unbreakable. Now hear this. Purpose is not found, it is forged. People spend decades waiting to find their passion, as if purpose is something buried under a rock, waiting to be discovered. No, purpose is something you earn through pain, through effort, through doing. You don't wait for purpose. You pick up the hammer of discipline and build it. Discipline is not a punishment. It is the path to freedom. Because when your emotions no longer dictate your actions, when motivation fades but you still move forward, that is when success begins to listen. That is when the universe starts to echo back your energy. Discipline is the quiet killer of excuses. It doesn't need a crowd. It doesn't ask for applause. It just shows up every day, in the cold, in the chaos, in the silence. You can want the crown, you can dream of the throne, but if you won't carry the weight of the work, then stay where you are, because the summit doesn't suffer the soft. Action, not words, not dreams. Action is the evidence of belief. Without action, your desires are just noise. The people who win are not always the smartest. They are not always the most talented, but they are always the ones who moved, who acted, who risked being seen trying, who were willing to look foolish, to fall forward, to learn through fire. Success doesn't chase the perfect, it chases the bold. Every time you take a step toward your vision, you're telling the universe, I'm ready, I'm not waiting, I'm becoming. And that act of becoming is the most powerful force on earth because it transforms the impossible into the inevitable. It turns fear into fuel and failure into foundation. The world doesn't need more wishers, it needs more workers, more builders, more quiet storms willing to rise before the doubters wake and still grind after the critics sleep. You don't get to the top by asking for directions from those who never left the sidewalk. You get there by carving the path with blood on your knuckles and fire in your lungs. You want to know the secret to getting everything you want? Gratitude, but not the soft kind. Not the kind that whispers thank you into the air once a day. I'm talking about gratitude, the kind that says, I'm grateful for this pain because it's making me sharper. I'm grateful for this obstacle because it's revealing who I truly am. I'm grateful that it's hard because that means most people won't make it. Gratitude isn't weakness, it's a weapon. It rewires your vision. It turns your losses into lessons. It keeps your ego in check when you rise and your soul in check when you fall. While others complain about the climb, the grateful one thanks the mountain for being tall, because they know a high summit means a better view. A longer climb means stronger legs. And every scar collected on the way up is a symbol, not of pain, but of progress. But even with gratitude, even with fire, even with discipline, success will test you. It will shape-shift. It will throw curveballs. The market will shift. The world will change. People will disappear. So what then? Adaptability. That's what separates the seasonally successful from the permanently powerful. Because no plan survives the storm, no map survives the mountain. But the one who adapts, that's the one who lasts. Think of Darwin. Survival of the fittest? No. Survival of the most adaptable. The rigid crack, the stubborn sink. But the flexible, they bend, they pivot, and they evolve. If your ego is married to a method, you'll die with it. But if your identity is tied to the mission, then you'll find a way. Because it's not about looking right, it's about getting it done. Your job is not to feel ready. Your job is to move, to adapt, to learn. Because success doesn't reward those who know everything. It rewards those who are willing to learn anything. Every master was once a novice. Every expert was once a fool with a question. Don't let the fear of looking stupid rob you of becoming brilliant. You don't need to have it all figured out. You just need to be committed to figuring it out. You think Abraham Lincoln knew how to hold a broken country together when he first took office? No, he learned. Under pressure, in the fire, with the world watching. You think Steve Jobs knew how to rebuild Apple when they kicked him out? No, he adapted, he evolved, and he came back sharper. You think you need more time? No, you need more intensity with the time you already have. You need to stop negotiating with laziness. Stop asking fear for permission. Stop waiting for someone to crown you worthy, because no one is coming to save you. That's your job. That's your responsibility. And don't let that scare you. Let it liberate you, because if no one else is in control, then neither are their limits. Neither are their doubts. Neither are their rules. The moment you realize the work is yours to do, and yours alone, that is the moment the chains fall. That is the moment your future starts counting down to your arrival. And yes, you will fall. You will fail. You will be misunderstood. You will be doubted. But every great story sounds like madness in the middle. Resilience is what makes it legendary at the end. And that resilience, it's not a gift. It's a decision to rise again, to try again, to believe again. Even when the lights go out and the room goes cold, you don't become unbreakable by avoiding struggle. You become unbreakable by wrestling it and realizing it couldn't kill me. It couldn't stop me. It couldn't define me. When life punches you in the mouth, don't run. Smile, because now it knows. It picked a fight with someone who punches back. You want to be great? You want to be free? You want to build a life that no one can take from you? Then stop wishing. Start working, because the universe does not deliver dreams to the hopeful. It delivers results to the relentless. Every second you spend comparing, waiting, complaining, doubting, that's a second stolen from the life you could be building. That's a brick left on the ground when it could have been laid in the foundation of your legacy. The truth is this: the man who works while others wish, the woman who pushes while others pause, the warrior who fights while others fear, they are the ones who win. Not because they were chosen, but because they chose themselves. And now it's your turn. Your pain, its fuel, your fear, its direction, your past, it's the raw material. You are the architect. You are the engineer. You are the force that can build something that will outlive you, if you're willing to put in the work now. So when you wake up tomorrow, don't pray for it to be easier. Don't beg the world to notice. Don't wish your problems away. Earn your future. Bleed for your goals. Sweat into your dreams. Because success doesn't listen to your intentions. It responds only to your actions. It respects only your effort. Wishes are wind. Work is stone. You want a legacy? Start building. You want greatness? Start grinding. You want to change your life? Then stop waiting. Because success doesn't knock. It stands at the top of a mountain and waits for those who have the courage to climb.